To always get the latest Game Tea, do not forget to follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook at The Game Tea Podcast, and you can find us on Twitter at Game Tea Podcast X. We post memes, gaming news, retweet friends of the pod, and of course let you know when new episodes are available for your listening pleasure. Links are all available in the description of this episode, so check them out after the show, and thank you so much for listening to the Game Tea Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Game Tea. No, JP, we are on episode 4 without the lovable guy. As always, I am Czar.
I am Peaches.
And I am Zach, going in my rightful order.
I really screwed up that order there, didn't I?
It's so confusing when you go first because it's like, oh shit, I have a line here, but without JP here, there's no signal.
Stressful.
We're lost.
Well, shit, guys, what have you been playing?
Ooh, that's a great way to open an episode. I have been inspired to go back and play Kingdom Hearts because I realized that I was a fool and I have never actually played Birth by Sleep, which, had I actually played that, I might have stood a chance and beat JP at our Kingdom Hearts Music Mayhem. But, oh well.
And I have been designing my Pokemon in Pokemon Unite.
Ooh.
Designing, what does that mean?
I got cool new skins for the wins.
Oh shit,
Skins do equal wins.
You got Blastoise with the sunglasses?
Not yet. I'm working on it.
Oh, come on, Squirtle Squad.
I know. So I'm trying to spend any money in the game, so I only have so much currency, you know? So I just bought the Blastoise with a suit so he could look dapper, be sophisticated, you know?
Oh, nice. That's good too.
Yeah, and so then they released the firefighter outfit, and I was like, you bastards.
Bastard.
What about you, Peaches? What are you playing?
Well, hold on. I don't want to interrupt Czar. Czar, what did you have to throw onto the dapper?
You've also been playing Metroid Dread. Didn't you beat that recently?
I did just beat it. And I cannot wait to tell you all about it when I do a nice comprehensive review on it, because I'm pretty hyped for it.
Heck yeah. Look forward to Zach's dissertation on Metroid Dread.
Hey, you know what? Zach, do you got a Game of the Year contender there, or is it not going to hit your radar that hard?
I think I have a Game of the Year contender, absolutely.
Ooh.
Do I think it can win? Maybe not. But for me, it's pretty good.
Let's go. Fuck yeah. Well, now on to what I've been playing. You know, your boy has been hitting up the New World and Kena Bridge of Spirits and also Bloons Tower Defense 6. Because
absolutely. Hell yes, Bloons Tower.
I'm a busy fella, and you know, when you don't have a lot of time just throwing up a round of balloons, it's a good like calming game before you go to bed, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's the little things that make life worth living, right?
Yeah, just popping some downright dastardly balloons.
Hell yeah.
Well, do you guys think we should go ahead and get into the actual meat of the podcast?
You said meat.
We should.
All right.
As we said before, JP is not here. But that is all right, because we have some stellar news for all of you fine listeners out there. Who wants to do the itinerary?
I'll take care of it.
Peaches will.
No. Zach, you get off. This is my episode, all right? I specifically picked out 2 articles that are good for me.
All right.
All right.
So, today on the podcast, we have God of War coming to PC. We have a new game announcement from Concerned Ape, the maker of Stardew Valley. And we have some bad news for Czar, as Xbox Game Pass sales are not where Microsoft would like them. Lastly, we got some quick takes and game releases.
Sounds awesome. Well, maybe not for me. But anyway, we'll get to that.
Yeah, so Zach, do you want to take this first article, since I know you dabbled in the God of War recently?
So Jim Ryan, a few weeks back, 2 weeks back now, we talked about it. He wanted to reach over 100 million consumers, which PlayStation do good, but not that good. And so we figured it was foreshadowing to something like this. So God of War is coming to Windows PC in January, according to Cole Carpenter of Polygon. The TLDR is that they announced this Wednesday via a PC announced trailer on YouTube. It's coming to Windows PC. First, with that being said, I'll go over the price and the specs and get your thoughts, babies. All right, so first up, this game will be available for $49.99 on Steam in the Epic Game Store, with God of War's Steam page already being active for players who want to pre-order ahead of that January release. PC features listed include high fidelity. That's for you, JP. Graphics, including 4K resolution, DLSS, and reflex support for higher frame rates and sharper graphics, and ultra widescreen support. With all that being said, is anyone surprised?
Ooh, you know what? I think after 3 years, this move makes a lot of sense. Like, it was a PlayStation exclusive for 3 years. Steam and like PC, Epic Game Store, etc. is finally getting it, I should say. And I mean, I like that they're upping the graphics to somehow make it look even better than it did on the PS4. I gotta say this. I love them dropping the price, though. $10 seems a little. It feels like it should be cheaper than that, but oh well. I don't know. I think this is awesome.
Is this the remake that they did, or like remaster or whatever? Or is this like the original?
This is God of War, like the newest God of War that is currently out.
Yes.
Like,
okay,
with boy, and all the Norse stuff. This is a new God of War.
Okay, and is this the first time that God of War has left the PlayStation home?
I can fact check it really quick, but I believe so.
Fact checker!
The fact checker.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about other God of Wars available on PC, so I think this is the first time.
Interesting. Think we'll see some broken PlayStations over it?
You know, we always talk about this. I think everyone that was going to break their PlayStations has already broken them from the Horizon Zero Dawn.
Look, we've only got a limited number of PlayStations we can break. We have to save them for especially hype occasions.
Bunch of monsters.
So I'm not expecting anything, but you know, fingers crossed we get to see some people freak out.
It's always nice at the end of the day.
I like to see a spaz or two on Twitter, you know.
I am wholeheartedly think this is a very successful strategy. Like, you still want to have a PS5, you still want to have God of War on it, because guess what? You can buy God of War for $10 on a PS5.
Ooh, can't beat that.
So if you can't do that, I mean, granted, PS5 is $500. If you already have a PC, which is $1,000 plus, and you want to get a PS5 or you want to play a PS5 exclusive, just wait 3 years and you may get a chance at that. I think that's an all right, compromise. Like, is it perfect? No, but I think everybody wins here.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like a super win because, again, this game is 3 years old now, but it is still one of the best games that came out for the PS4, if not the best game that came out for the PS4. So having it finally come to PC so more people can experience it, I'm all for it.
Yeah, it's nice that Sony is at least sharing some of their IPs.
I don't know if I would ever call it sharing, but they're trying to double dip in the market. Yeah, I'd say that.
Yeah.
With all that being said, I mean, I think this is pretty blunt force. We have all played God of War, except for you, Czar. Do you think you'll pick it up?
I might actually, if it drops in price. I think you're right, Peaches. I think $50 is a little steep for that old of a game, but yeah. It'll probably go on a Steam sale.
That's the thing. I definitely will go on a Steam sale, but it is also one of the best games I have ever played, story-wise, gameplay-wise, the whole 9 yards. This is definitely one of the best games that has ever been made.
That's true. And I do need to work on my Steam achievables because as Peaches and I were talking about before the podcast, it is the only reason you play games.
Gotta collect the achievements.
Yep.
You guys are ridiculous. I hate achievements.
So, God of War to Switch when?
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Don't test me, boy.
That's pretty bad, but you got the point.
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down. It's hard to emulate that iconic voice, you know?
Yeah, I was really proud that Sony apparently delayed God of War Ragnarok because the guy couldn't like do the Kratos voice guy wasn't able to like do it. So, yeah, that's just a little random tidbit.
Christopher Judge, yeah, like, and also he was super upset with God of War Ragnarok. He didn't want to do it because the director from God of War left, and like he straight up did not want to do God of War Ragnarok without him. But the old game director is like, hey, this new guy coming in is great. You're gonna love it. You know, you don't need me there to do it. So
right,
and the studio like even still stood behind Christopher Judge despite all that. So I mad respect on all ends there.
Yeah.
You gotta love that little attention to detail.
I love that, like, you know, Christopher Judge was so attached to the game director from the original God of War that, you know, he was willing to stop doing God of War for him. And also that the new God of War, or the old God of War game director was like, hey, this new one that's coming in is also great. I just want to move in a different direction. Like, it's a very cool story on all ends.
Right. I thought that was like, isn't that like a Santa Monica thing where like they'd usually like new game, new director, like they've kind of been pretty consistent on that.
I mean, it's not like Santa Monica forced him out. I think he just didn't want to do it, you know?
No, yeah, that's what I'm like. And I thought like for each, I don't know, I have to look it up. It'll probably be a different time, but anyway, you guys ready to any final thoughts before we move on to the next article?
I think it's neat. And I think this next one, that looks like a Peaches article. I have no idea what's going on here.
Oh, this is a Peaches one for sure. This thing is fresh, all right? This is like 2-day-old news, all right?
Ooh, it's hot.
Yeah, so, as you all know, Stardew Valley is one of my favorite games of all time. And the creator of Stardew Valley, Concerned Ape, has just released on YouTube a new announcement for his game, Haunted Chocolatier. So, getting into the article,
I don't even know what to make of that title.
I love the direction that this looks like it's going in. But coming from NPR and Nell Clark, the creator of Stardew Valley announces his new spooky game, Haunted Chocolatier. Today in gaming news, pixelated ghosts who carry artisan chocolates. They're part of a new, just announced game, Haunted Chocolatier, forthcoming from the one-man studio. That's not true anymore, actually. I should correct NPR on that one. He is a 6-man team now, which is still very small, but he does have some more people working for him. But forthcoming from the studio behind the cult gaming darling, Stardew Valley. Eric Barone, who works under the alias Concerned Ape, announced Thursday that the game was in development, releasing a trailer and several colorful screenshots. Details on the project are scarce, but the gameplay video shows a mysterious castle filled with moody lighting and a chocolate shop attended by little ghost employees shaped like bonbons carrying actual chocolate bonbons over their heads.
That's adorable.
I mean, Stardew Valley is just adorable on its own anyways, but
That's the game where your grandparents' inheritance gets you laid, right?
I mean, essentially, you know, you go to your grandpa, not your grandparents, just your grandpa, leaves you his farm in Stardew Valley, and you try to, you know, fuck everyone in town if you want, if you're so inclined.
God damn it.
That's a reference to last week's episode.
Is this a theme? I think the one question on our mind is, will we be able to fuck everyone in town in this new Haunted Chocolatier game? And the details, as they said, are scarce on it, but I am confident that we will be able to fuck.
Well, I watched this trailer too, and I second that motion. There was at least flirting and romance options.
Classic. And you know what? I'm also excited that eventually, like, Stardew Valley released multiplayer very late for its game, and I hope that in the development cycle of this game, multiplayer becomes accessible way earlier on than it did in Stardew Valley.
What do you think the multiplayer would comprise of? Like, what would you do?
Same as you did in Stardew Valley. You know, you and your buddies all live, you know, in a chocolate factory, just like you on the old one. You lived on a farm plot of land together.
Apparently haunted by the ghosts of bonbons.
Well, and also this game has kind of dungeoning mechanics where, you know, you go to a dungeon to collect resources, to bring those resources back to your farm, to build better things, to make you have more efficient chocolatiering. I think it's going to have a similar gameplay loop, but, you know, it's going to have fresh mechanics. It's going to have updated graphics, but, you know, there's a certain charm to that pixelated graphic style that Stardew Valley and this game is going to have. I have so many thoughts on this, but I'm going to stop interrupting everybody and turn it over to you guys. What do you think of Haunted Chocolatier from what we've seen so far?
I am glad that you are excited, and I don't care.
Honesty's the best quality.
Not right now, it isn't.
I'm kind of with you, Zach. It's not really for me, but it definitely looked charming. It definitely looks like Stardew Valley with a twist. And I'm really happy you're happy, Peaches.
See, Chaz, we're all here for you, boo-boo.
I'm about to go over there and slap the shit out of both of you. You guys better start getting more excited for this.
I mean, I do like the spooky season, and I do like chocolate, so that's a good combination.
It is Stardew Valley with the premise of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, minus the golden ticket and that old lazy piece of shit Grandpa Joe. I don't know. I think this is it. It makes so much sense for for them to do this. Like it's the most sensical follow up to the Stardew Valley game, and honestly, just with all the updates that it looks like it's adding, it's taking Stardew Valley and building on it with a lot of different things. And it kind of sucks that we won't have a release date on this for a while, but from the looks of it, I'm willing to wait as long as it takes, because Stardew Valley, I got 500 hours or so in Stardew Valley, maybe more. And
whoa, that's impressive.
Impressive, disappointing, fun. It bounces between a lot of emotions when you think about it. But I'm very excited for this game. I think it's going to be great, and this is definitely going to be one of the ones to look out for in the upcoming, in the distant future.
Love it. Love everything about it. It did look charming. Look out for it soon, everybody.
Well,
all right.
Czar, do you want to take this last main article?
I can do that. So this one is all about Xbox, which I love, and it's about the Xbox Game Pass subscription and how Microsoft doesn't think it's making as much money as it should be. And this is coming to us from Axios.com, written by Stephen Totillo.
I think it's Totillo, just because there's not two L's. If it was two L's, I'd think it's Totillo.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. So, well, one of those is hope.
Thanks, Steven.
So, this is a financial filing report, and this is for the time period of 12 months that ended on June 30th of 2021. Subscriber growth for Microsoft's signature gaming service, Xbox Game Pass, was slower than the company had hoped for in the past year. By the numbers, Game Pass subscriber growth was up by 37%, but the company had set a 48% growth goal, so they didn't make it. But I mean, that's still really good. And furthermore, the company's prior fiscal year, which ran from mid 2019 to 2020, that sub count was up 86%, exceeding the target of 71%. But that was the mid-high point of COVID, so that was to be expected that they saw such a huge growth. We read articles about this all the time, and this is one of those situations where it's not that Microsoft is doing bad, they're just not doing as good as they want. And, for a multi-million, billion-dollar company, that's not too bad.
Yeah, so I'm in the opinion that, hey, like, this is pretty silly. I mean, it's nice to have growth goals, but you're a multi-billion-dollar company. You're growing, and it's always annoying when they overthink things that are working well. They try and fix problems they don't have, which it leads to a problem that usually gets over-engineered than just solved, in my opinion. But maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong before, so we'll see.
What? When have you been wrong?
Thank you. You get it.
That's fair. We don't have documented proof of Zach being wrong. You can't listen otherwise.
So yeah, those are my 2 cents. What do you guys think?
Let me modify my question. Do you think, like, if they set a goal of 37% growth, like, do you think that's really, really good considering the circumstances from the previous year? Or, like, do you think they were just shooting themselves in the foot with too high of expectations here?
I would have to say that 48% is not a bad target, right? Especially considering what they saw
the very high, personally.
It's high, but I mean, look at how much growth Game Pass had just last year, right? And
yeah,
I mean,
but that was COVID.
You say that was COVID. We're still in COVID, baby. There's no change. We are 2020 plus 10 months.
We're just busier.
So, I mean, I think it's not the worst thing to, like, shoot for 48. I think it's a high but reasonable goal. Ending up at 37% is fine, though. Like, let's be real. They're like, if they're actually upset about this, like, if people are, in like a fucking boardroom and like angrily pointing at a sales chart talking about how 37% isn't enough, I think that's where you just got to play the world's smallest violin.
It's playing for you, Microsoft.
Yeah, like I know I've seen some hot takes of like people saying that Game Pass is gonna start going down and like you're gonna start seeing like negative growth. But let's be real here. This is fine. They are so fine.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine that Game Pass is going to stop growing.
No, I agree. I don't think they will. But I mean, like, I got to think about it this way. We have talked about on this podcast time and time again that Game Pass is one of the best deals in video games ever. Like, just ever. And that already has an astronomically large subscriber count. And so for them, during the year of COVID, to go from their really high count up a further 86%, and then looking at the next year, they want to grow their subscriber count by an additional 50% of what they have. This is arbitrary, but there's a limited number of people on the planet, and eventually that number is not going to be able to keep growing that large. And there's an even smaller pool of people that, have access to consoles and these kinds of services. Like, that's a lot of people. This is a lot of numbers. And so when I think about it that way, I just think they're just foolish to try to achieve that.
Yeah, I just think it's the rich get richer. That's all they're trying to do. Super annoying.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think in their dream scenario, it's not that everyone in the world has Game Pass. I think their dream scenario is that like upwards of like 80 to 90% of people that have an Xbox have Game Pass is their dream scenario. And I think there's like 100 some million as of my Google search from statista.com says. Fact checked again. You're welcome.
The fact checker.
That sounds pretty low.
Two in one episode. There's 100 million monthly active users as of December 2020. So I think they probably want, like 80 million of those people using Game Pass and like, them just raking it in off of those guys.
I'm gonna be real with you boys. I've got damn near a 15-year tenure with Xbox, and I still don't have Game Pass.
You're ridiculous.
I thought you had Game Pass, but you were getting it for free with like some exploit.
Yeah, but I dropped down to the regular gold service because it's 12,000 points for a month of Game Pass, but it's only 8,000 points for a month of gold. That's too many games for me right now. But, you know, if I win a sweepstakes or something and get Game Pass for life, I'll get on that. Right now, it's a little too expensive and a little too overwhelming.
You make some business cards and start throwing them into Microsoft bowls.
That's like saying Netflix is too expensive. There's too many movies to binge.
That's actually fair. I can't have any argument to that.
I mean, there is something to be said about having like too much selection. How many times have you guys opened Netflix, scrolled for half an hour, then decided on nothing? And
buddy. I have my entire Switch backlog. Trust me. No, I get it. I open up I look at my used game column, and I'm just sitting there like, I'm gonna go play Pokemon Unite or Smash Bros. I am the worst kind of gamer, and I know it. But I'm just saying, like, you're complaining about a problem that isn't a problem, you know?
It's like when you got fruit from the store and it's just slowly dying and rotting as it watches you put pizza rolls into your freezer time and time again.
Yeah, sure. That sounds right.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Except, I don't know. Do games expire? I probably should go check on my Switch cartridges.
Okay, dead ass.
If they do, I mean, those things
dead
are.
ass. That's going to be a gaming hot topic one day. Because I'm sitting here staring at my digital Switch library, and I think I might fucking cry if something bad goes on. You know what I mean?
Like if you just suddenly lost access.
Oh, like if you lose like your digital library.
Like where like the Wii shop has gone down, the 3DS shop's going down eventually. We're sitting here like, I put a lot of money into this digital shop. And then they're talking about the next one being like all digital or whatever, which kind of makes sense for a handheld platform because cartridges are fucking expensive. And SD cards aren't as expensive. Anyway, okay. Yeah, that's totally side tangent. You guys want to keep going?
I know. I guess this kind of brings me to my next thought is like, Nintendo now will have a Game Pass equivalent for themselves coming up here shortly, right?
I think so.
Technically, no, but yes. Technically, yes.
Yeah,
Retro
kind of
Game Pass,
right?
I'll take that. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong.
I don't know, like between Sony and Nintendo, how well do you think like those two subscription game libraries, I don't know what you want to call them, will compete with the Xbox Game Pass? Like, do you think they have any shot, or do you think that like Game Pass kind of just owns the market right now?
I don't think they're trying to accomplish the same goals.
I was gonna say, like, I don't know.
I mean, I think you could compare them. I'm just not drawing much of a comparison because I don't see any other subscription service trying to achieve what Game Pass is doing. But I might be wrong.
I don't know, I feel like after seeing the success of Game Pass, a lot of people are going to try to copy it, you know?
Yeah?
I mean, if they're not trying to copy that success, then I don't know what the fuck PlayStation is doing, adding stuff to their weird version of Game Pass all the time.
Yeah, but they got the exclusives, so they're fine.
Sure, but I mean, you know, mo money's mo money, right?
More money, definitely.
I mean, look, these are like billion-dollar companies. I don't think they're gonna scoff at an extra $100 million. Now, if it was like $30, yeah, they would spit on $30. But you know, like a million people signing up for your Game Pass service, I don't know. That's a good chunk of change for a large company.
Even that seems like small potatoes to Microsoft, though. 1 million people signing up to their service. Like, yeah, but we wanted 100 million.
I mean, 1 million people each paying a monthly fee. That's a good amount of money.
Meanwhile, I'm just trying to get 30 followers on Twitch. What's up with that, huh? What's up with that?
Hey, man,
right?
I've already followed you. I'm, again, biggest fan right here.
No, you're an MVP. I'm just saying, like,
I don't know how many fake accounts I can make for you, Zach, and following.
my man.
Well, I think we've about exhausted everything we can talk about with Microsoft's Game Pass. Yeah? Do you want to move on to the quick takes?
Yeah, I think Game Pass will be fine. Now let's quick take it around. Elden Ring got delayed. I am sad.
I thought it was already released.
Elden
Ring? Nah, dude.
Yeah, what he said.
Elden Ring is that's like the big one that everyone was excited about for Summer Game Fest.
It's the Dark Souls.
Right.
The next From Software.
And I heard this is all because someone leaked footage, 6 seconds of YouTube footage, and that's why they delayed it a full month.
A full month, actually, that's not as bad as I thought it'd be.
Can we stand behind that?
I mean, it's Reddit hearsay, so yeah, why not?
Yeah, thanks, Reddit.
Yeah, okay, well, rumor is it got delayed because of a YouTube clip.
Well, now this take I do want to expand on a little bit more. I mean, Elden Ring got delayed. That's short enough. But the GTA Trilogy remaster. You guys see this?
Yes.
There's a trilogy to this series. I thought they were all random.
So it's like, I'm pretty sure they're doing GTA 3, GTA Vice City, and GTA San Andreas in this remaster.
Huh.
And you're right. I don't know if you're waiting for me to back you up.
It's so strange. Like, okay, I don't know if you guys watched the YouTube video of like the graphics change to it, but it seems like they're kind of trying to do two things at once. Like they want to update and like, really bring the graphics into the modern era, but they also want to have it keep that older graphics like charm to it. And it comes out and it just looks weird. Like there's no normal looking character in that game.
I feel like you gotta pick a lane.
Well, and I heard, yeah, you're totally right on that one. Like it's a weird art style, but like most people who played those games, like they just want to have the new controls, and like that's what they're most excited for, and they kind of like that art style. But yeah, I don't know. It is worth noting it's full $60 game.
Ooh.
Of course, sounds very Rockstar.
I mean, it's 3 GTA games. I mean, it's not like it's the worst thing.
It's 3 GTA games.
That's what I said.
That, when released, I don't think were ever $60 themselves. Maybe San Andreas.
I might have to fact check that one.
I can't fact check that one, so please do it. I don't know. I only have so many Googles.
I don't remember when the cutoff from the jump of $50 to $60 occurred.
Games have been 60 since like the SNES. Am I nuts?
Let's see. $50 per copy was how much it was when San Andreas was released.
The Fact Checker.
Hey, so they're charging $10 more for all 3 remastered.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in a weird spot with this. Like,
but are you surprised?
Am I surprised that it's $60? Absolutely not. Like that was never going to be a question.
Yeah, right.
I am disappointed because some people may say I'm hypocritical because I think that like Mass Effect was 3 games for $60, but I am totally fine with that price of Mass Effect because I see a lot more value in Mass Effect. But that's just me personally. On this, I don't know. I just don't see that same value in like those GTA games. Don't get me wrong. GTA San Andreas, absolute classic game.
Some would say the peak of GTA.
But I do not love GTA San Andreas like I love any single Mass Effect game.
That's fair. But you always were more of a Saints Row kind of guy.
True. And you know what? I honestly think that if Saints Row 1 through 4, which I'm actually, they've already done this, haven't they? Saints Row has already remastered and re-released all their shit.
Not the first game, I don't think.
You know what? You're right on that.
But I don't know if they ever will.
Saints Row 2 was the best one anyways. So, but
yeah.
I would say the same thing for like the Saints Row, like Saints Row 1 through 4. I don't think that like if they remastered and re-released it, it should be $60.
See, I think this is a silly argument. I think games are $60. Why does it matter which game is $60?
That's fair.
Like, I don't know. Mario Party All-Stars, $60. It's a remaster of the N64 games. Still probably going to get it.
But when we're talking about Nintendo, that's different.
Well, why?
I think
though?
the argument comes in like chances are most people have bought this game previously and already spent that money on it. So I don't know, like, and it also takes less effort to do a remaster than it does to make a brand new original game.
So, I don't know.
Tell all that to 2K, who's taken more than enough of my money on the same damn game over 4 times.
Right.
So is Skyrim. Like, I don't know, and Skyrim still releases full price.
Yeah, and it shouldn't.
But it's not like it's like copy paste. It works on the Switch now.
I'm not saying it requires no effort. I'm saying it requires much less effort than an actual brand new.
But there's still developers who put effort into it. Therefore, they should be paid like everyone else.
Yeah, obviously. And what's the argument there? Like,
I just don't get why this
obviously
$60 versus $50 versus $40. Like, where's the right price?
Probably $40 because it requires less effort. Like, these developers are like, they get paid the same no matter what. They're most likely being exploited.
This sounds like a great answering gaming's biggest question, because I'm really starting to ponder on this one, because I'm seeing where both of you are coming from, and both of you are making great points. But also, you got games thrown into the mix like Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl that launched for $50 in a $60 era. And I mean, that just kind of goes to amount of work and amount of detail in game. But that can also be arbitrary when you're talking about different studios like EA that'll just regurgitate sports garbage year after year and call it $60.
Yep.
I don't know.
And I just don't know either. I don't know why we have to have this argument every time. Like, what, Final Fantasy VII remake? It's a remake. No, it's a remaster. Yeah, it's a fucking remake, so it's $60. $70 now. Like,
there's a difference between a remake and a remaster, though. Like, they remade the game from the ground up, and like it's got new mechanics. It's like it's basically a brand new game using the old story.
This could be a fun segment idea where we just pitch video game ideas to each other and then we bid on how much we would pay to actually buy such a game.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, well.
Anywho.
And I'm not saying that Final Fantasy VII remake is a remaster. And I see your point, remaster versus remake. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at I don't know. We'll save it for gaming's hottest topics.
All right, who wants to take the upcoming game releases?
Well, hold on. We also missed a...
oh, right.
We missed a quick take that Zach wanted to put in. I don't even know what this is, so Zach's going to have to take it.
Everyone's favorite GBA classic. That's a joke. Advance Wars remake. I think it's called Reboot 1 and 2. It has been delayed. Kind of makes sense. They announced it in the Summer Direct, or the E3 Direct, and we've heard literally nothing since. And so it's coming. It was originally slated to come out, I think, December 3rd, or maybe the next week after that. It's now been delayed to spring. And just think that's classy. No crunch, no nothing, hopefully there. And they're just like, it's going to need more time to get polished. Especially a niche title like this. You're probably only going to get one shot to hopefully revitalize that franchise. So I hope they do it right and make it as great as it can be. For people who don't know, Advanced Wars is like Fire Emblem, but with like tanks and stuff. Like it's a very similar style game.
Nice.
So it's a GBA classic, and for some reason it's got a pretty big, or I shouldn't say that rudely, but it's got a cult following, and so people like the game. And so when I saw this, I was like, neat. Maybe I'll try it.
There we go.
And that game, since it's Nintendo, will be $60. Guaranteed. And that's a port of two GBA
we don't even have
games.
to speculate.
So
$60.
$60. I hope it's worth it. I don't know, man. I don't know. You guys want to go to upcoming game releases before I don't?
Yeah,
I don't even
Zach,
know what
do you
I'm
want to
doing
take
right now.
game releases? Because I know there's like one game in there that's going to be your big one.
Thanks, baby cakes.
Mwah.
Age of Empire. Oh, sorry. On October 28th, we have the following games releasing on their respective platform. Age of Empires 4 coming to PC. Backbone coming to PS5, Xbox Series systems, PlayStation 4, and Xbone. Dusk coming to Switch. Fatal Frame, Maiden of Blackwater, coming to PS5, Xbox Series systems, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Riders Republic coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S. Man, maybe I'll be consistent on these. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Stadia, and PC.
Why won't you stay dead?
Roki is coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series systems. And Voice of Cards, The Isle of Dragon Roars is coming to PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC. And those are all coming October 28th. And none of them are coming on October 29th because they're scared to go against the juggernaut that is Mario Party Superstars coming to Nintendo Switch.
That is the only game coming out that day. That's
Everyone
funny.
else is scared. They're not ready.
They're
not ready for the Halloweens.
Wah!
It's kind of like the equivalent of a movie trying to avoid releasing the same time as an Avengers movie.
Right. You just don't do it. That's bad publicity.
You just don't.
And then we'll come back to that because, spoiler alert, that's our hype up game. November 2nd, Unpacking is coming to Switch and PC, and World War Z is coming to Switch. With all that being said, guys, my hype up game of the week is Mario Party Superstars. It is a remake of Mario Party's, I think it's like 1 through 3 boards, but then it's kind of goofy. It's got games from like Mario Party up until the end of the GameCube era.
Huh.
Yeah, this is a $60 release. As a person who bought Super Mario Party back in 2018, I was really hoping that would have got some DLC with some more boards and stuff. Instead, they decided to just take all of our complaints and make a 2.0 version. And by that I mean it's got a competent online where you can play with your friends. You can also play with randoms and pause the game. And so basically all the stuff that we talked about with Super Mario Party being wrong, they fixed up here. Do you guys have any fond memories of like Nintendo 64 Mario parties?
Fond? No. I remember getting my ass kicked.
I never played it much as a kid, but as someone who bought Super Mario Party a couple months ago, I am livid about this. I wanted this game. Oh well.
R.I.P. Czar.
Yeah, classic Czar.
Well, there is no bright side.
Well, there's 5 boards. Hopefully this one has free DLC, because like Czar said, they fucking owe me. Us, the Nintendo Collective. All I know is every time I Google Mario Party, apparently it's leaked already, so I'm sure we'll find out how people are feeling about it. The infamous Tug of War game has come back, and I love it because it's the one where Nintendo, like, you got in trouble for the palms and they got sued for it. Or Nintendo got sued for it and they had to provide gloves and settlement. And now the game's coming back with the same controls and they just added the caution.
Just slap a warning sticker, it's fine.
Nintendo be out here.
Oh, that's great.
I guarantee that will get patched in the first month, maybe even before. I don't know how they'll patch it, but that's kind of not a good joke if it's a joke and stupid if it's not. All right. Anyway, I still hype that game up because my wife loves Mario Party and it's the only game she beats me at, so we'll stick to it.
Yahoo!
I think that was a subtle flex.
I always flex when I can flex, all right? I'm wearing a Derrick Henry jersey right now.
Well,
all right.
I think I'm ready to get out of here. About you guys?
Yeah, I think that should about do it for this episode of Game T No JP.
And I cannot wait for our segment. We get to do Playtime Panic. So I hope you guys come and join us for that next one.
Yeah.
With that, outro guy.
No one's.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Game T Pod.
Cut. We're just. No one say anything. Just cut to the ending music.
You just got your Game T?
Bye. XOXO.
Cut.
If you like what you heard today and you're looking for more ways to get your Game T fix, check us out on Patreon. With bronze, silver, and gold tiers starting at $2 a month, there are several incredible rewards you can receive for supporting the show, such as a follow from us on Twitter, access to a monthly Q&A session, an invitation to our private Discord server, and even bonus episodes of the podcast only accessible to patrons. Your donations will be used to make the show even better. The link to Patreon is in the description with our social media, so go check it out. Once again, thank you so much for listening to the Game T Podcast.